Okay. Yeah, that's good. Okay. There we go. Okay. Hi, everybody. Almost out of water. I'm going to have to refill that. Okay. Hopefully that'll get us through tonight's reading. Tonight's only 20 minutes long. Supposed to last a few nights. Although last night was 20 minutes. Boy, some of those chapters in Christmas Carol were long. I'm glad to be back to our 20-minute time frame. So, tonight is our last night of Christmas in July. So, we're going to read Mouse's Christmas Gift, God Gave Us Christmas, and the Story of Christmas. All right, we're gonna go all Christmassy. Which one do you want to read first? This one? Mouse's Christmas Gift? Okay. All right, Mouse's Christmas Gift. Let's see here. Let's turn that off. Okay, Mouse's Christmas Gift. Mouse shivered in the drafty sanctuary of the church. The room looked bleak and bare. Where was Parson? Mouse scurried over to the parson's empty study and glanced at the calendar. December 23rd. Something wasn't right. As he crept back to the sanctuary, Mouse glanced around the room and realized what was missing. In the storage closet, he burrowed through boxes, searched until he found the right one. Could he arrange the delicate figurines? Pulling and prodding, lugging and lifting, Mouse worked until he finished the job. When he was done, sweet baby Jesus slept in the manger. Beside him stood Joseph and Mary, God's faithful servants. There was the magnificent angel that announced the greatest message of joy the earth would ever know. The lowly shepherds and sheep, chosen to hear and spread the good news, were there. And last but not least, the wise men from the east, who followed the star and brought gifts to the King of Kings. But something still did not feel right. Where could Parson be? Mouse ducked through the crack in the wall. He raced through his tunnels until his wet nose poked into the small living quarters in the back of the church. Parson, your fever is worse, said his wife as she brushed her hand across his forehead. Parson began to cough. I guess I have no choice, he mumbled as he pulled the quilt over his thin, shivering frame. Mouse watched Parson's wife nail a note to the door of the old church. Christmas Eve service canceled. Mouse's tail dropped. Parson had never canceled the Christmas Eve service before. Mouse had to do something. But what? Back to the boxes. He tripped and fell on something hard and made of wax. He had an idea. Mouse set a sturdy candle in the window of the old church and lit its wick. The glow filled the room. But would anyone see it? No. That night, Mouse stared at the nativity in the soft glow of the candlelight as he drifted off to sleep. Across town, Alexander Stevens peered out his window into the starry night. The streets of the village looked deserted. The decorations stayed tucked away. Grim, worried villagers repeated the phrase, "No money for Christmas." Alexander sighed. Did it really take money to celebrate Christmas? In the distance, he saw the silhouette of the old church, its strong steeple pointing to heaven. He blinked, then blinked again. What was that in the window? While his parents slept, Alexander stepped softly out into the crisp air and gathered pine branches and holly, forming a circle. He ran to the church door and hung his meager wreath in place. Joy to the world, Alexander whispered to himself as he headed back home. The next day, Lizzie Jenkins noticed Alexander's wreath on the door of the church. She pointed and said to her sister, "That pine tree looks bare standing next to the wreath. Let's tie our hair ribbons on its branches to decorate for Christmas." From his forge, the blacksmith watched her hair ribbons, quilting squares, and scraps of fabric appear on the tree as many passersby stopped to add a decoration. He began to heat and shape a piece of scrap metal into a shining star. When the blacksmith thought no one was looking, he carried a ladder over and set the star in its place. Out her window, Widow Bartholomew's eyes studied the blacksmith as he placed the star on top of the tree. A smile crept onto her face. She looked in her cupboard and spotted the jar of strawberry jam she had saved for a special occasion. Then she set out to baking bread. That night, on Christmas Eve, a small group of villagers gathered in front of the darkened church. Mouse peered out into the window and his heart began to pound. They came! He raced to the doorframe and unlocked the latch. Townspeople talked and whispered in front of the church. It's been a while since I have been to church. Where's Parson and his wife? I think he's been ill. They tried the door and found it unlocked. I could light a fire in the stove, said the blacksmith. I've brought my bread and strawberry jam to share, added Widow Bartholomew. The villagers sat in the pews and looked at each other. What next? We have our voices, said Mrs. Stevens. So they began to sing. Oh, holy night, the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of our dear Savior's birth. Long lay the world in sin and error pining, till he appeared, and the soul felt its worth. A thrill of hope, the weary world rejoices. Parson heard the music from his bed. What was going on? He wrapped himself in his quilt and walked to the door. His wife followed behind. As they entered the chapel, someone began reading from the Bible, Luke chapter 2. In those days, Caesar Augustus issued a decree that a census should be taken of the entire Roman world. Parson sat down in a pew and stared. Why had the people come? Who set up the nativity? Had he left the church unlocked? He closed his eyes and listened. I bring you good news that will cause great joy for all the people. Today in the town of David, a Savior has been born to you. He is the Messiah, the Lord. This will be a sign to you. You will find a baby wrapped in cloths and lying in a manger. Parson smiled. Good news of great joy. Baby Jesus is the Savior for all people. He fills our greatest need. Mouse watched from his home in the wall, a smile on his face. He nibbled a bit of bread and strawberry jam. Christmas Eve, all was well. Okay, next. Which one do you want to read next? God gave us Christmas? Okay. All right. God gave us Christmas. Okay. It's out here. I've been really thirsty lately. I don't know what that's about. Mama, little cub asked one night, who invented Christmas? Was it Santa? No, Mama Bear said, God invented Christmas. God gave us Christmas. Is God more important than Santa? Oh, yes, much more important, Mama said with a smile. The next morning, little cub sleepily climbed into her lap. Can we go find Santa, Mama? He lives around here someplace, I think. Santa is hard to find, said Mama. But we can go find God. God is everywhere. Yahoo! Cried Little Cub. I didn't know we could find God. Oh, yes, Mama said. We can always find God. Little Cub looked over her shoulder and whispered, can we leave them at home? Yes, your papa will watch the little ones, and when I can go alone. We will go find God. I will see how he gave us Christmas. Yes, Little Cub, you shall see how God gave us Christmas. The next morning, Little Cub and Mama filled their packs, kissed their family goodbye, and set off to find God and see how he gave them Christmas. They walked to the top of one mountain and down the next. And up another mountain, where they set up camp. Little Cub was so tired that she went right to sleep. But Mama nudged her while it was still dark. Mama, why are you waking me up? Because it's God, Little Cub. Come see. What is that? Little Cub asked in wonder as she watched the dancing lights in the sky. That is God at work, Little Cub. He sent his only son as a baby so that we would know light from dark. Jesus is the light of the world. Jesus is how God gave us Christmas. The next day, they arrived at a huge lake. All at once, with a mighty roar, a chunk of ice cut away from the cliff and fell into the sea. What is that? Little Cub asked, covering her ears and leaning into Mama. That is God, Little Cub. He's so powerful. He can command the water to freeze and the glacier to melt. He is mightier than any king on earth. And because he is all powerful, he made Jesus king of all kings. But Jesus was just a baby. How could he be a king? All kings begin as babies. God knew we would need someone we could touch and see and smell. Mama paused to sniff Little Cub's neck, making her giggle, to understand just how much he loved each one of us. All moms like to poke and prod at their children. It's part of the job description. Mama awoke Little Cub again before the sun came up. She pointed to the east, at a star that changed from green to red to green again and shot out in many points. Is it God again? Little Cub asked, rubbing her eyes. Yeah. Jesus is called the bright morning star. He is always with us. And he first came when God gave us Christmas. Well, what about Santa? Little Cub asked. Did God give us Santa? Santa Claus reminds us about many good things like generosity and care. But it is God and Jesus that we celebrate most come Christmas. We always want to thank God for giving us Christmas. On the way home, Mama Bear stopped by a tiny flower picking up from the hard frozen ground. You are too early, little flower, she said. Little Cub, Jesus is like this flower, God in our world, living where you wouldn't expect him, surprising us. Christmas is a lot about surprises. Like presents. Yes. Jesus is the best present of all. And God would have given us that present even if it was only for you. Only for me. Only for you, Little Cub. God gave you Christmas. Mama and Little Cub came upon a church, glowing with warm light. Soft voices reached out to them singing. What are they singing, Mama? About the night God first gave us Christmas, when Jesus was born. Tomorrow's Christmas Day. Would Jesus have come for me, old Maggie the Moose, or grumpy old Frankie the Fox? Little Cub whispered. Maggie, Frankie, any of us. Jesus is a present for everyone, grumpy or happy, mean or kind. God gave us all Christmas. Little Cub. Little Cub was glad to be back at home that night, in her cozy bed. Thanks for showing me God, Mama. There isn't anything I'd rather do, sweet child, she said with a kiss. Night, night. Little cub went to sleep and dreamed of bright stars and northern lights, of a king born as a tiny baby, angels singing over him, and woke up to Christmas. Yahoo! She cried. God gave us Christmas again. Oh, they've got one called God Gave Us Love. You should probably get that for Valentine's Day. Okay. And then we've got the story of Christmas. Pay attention to your mother. Pay attention to your mother. Pay attention to your mother. Okay, the story of Christmas. Do you know why we give gifts at Christmas? We give presents because it is Jesus' birthday. Long ago, an angel told Mary she would have a baby named Jesus. Mary and her husband Joseph were very happy. They had a lot to do to get ready for the baby. But first, they had to take a long trip to Bethlehem. Well, maybe if you leave it plugged in, it wouldn't turn off. You ever think about that? But first, they had to take a long trip to Bethlehem. Mary rode a donkey. Joseph walked. When they got to Bethlehem, many people were there. Mary and Joseph were very tired, but there was no place for them to stay. They slept on a bed of hay in a stable with cows and donkeys. That night, baby Jesus was born. Angels told the shepherds, Jesus is born. You'll find him lying in a manger. Wise men followed a star to the stable and baby Jesus. They brought presents because they loved him. We give gifts at Christmas to show our love. And we say, happy birthday, baby Jesus. And what is this? What is this? What is this? What is going on here? No, this is my leg now. Yeah, this is mine. This is my leg. This is my leg. All right. So we're a little bit shy of the 20 minutes, but I think that's okay. Yeah? Okay. Let's plug in this tablet. I don't know why you unplug them. I don't know why it's like poison to keep your tablet plugged in while you use it. Okay. Hey, you didn't sleep at all last night and then went to sleep at 6 a.m. So I really appreciate it if you went to sleep when the sun is still down. That would be great. Could you do that for your mother? That'd be really nice. What is this noise you're making? Okay. Here's your TV remote. Okay. Ah, boy. Troublesome child. Oh, I'm squatting on a whole bunch of these little letter magnets. That's hurting my feet. This was a poor choice on my part. Okay. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to go to bed. I have no idea if he'll go to bed. I'll probably hear him running back and forth in his room for several hours because it's summer break and he has nothing else to do. So we will see you guys tomorrow night with non-Christmas stories because it won't be July. So I'll figure out what other stories we're going to read. That's a whole lot that we could read. We've got a whole bunch of these dinosaur books that you could read. So, yeah. And Dr. Seuss. What other books do we have? There's a whole lot of them. We got a lot. So, we'll have to figure that out for tomorrow. But yeah, anyway, it is bedtime. So we will see you guys tomorrow. Okay. Good night.